welcome to a somewhat special video. Here, strategy enthusiasts and those craving adrenaline for the start of the year are in for a treat. I recommend you clear some space on your phones because I'm about to explain everything right away. Why is Rise of Kingdoms shaking up the game in 2025? And you'll be able to get a sense of the game as a whole and understand why it's still just as popular after 6 years. Thanks to Lilith Gameplay for supporting us. For this video, the link to the game is in the description and you can download it for free on Android and iOS. It really supports the channel for all our content. By the way, remember to activate the code ROCK2025white.es from your account to enjoy bonus rewards. First of all, Rise of Kingdoms is set to make its mark in 2025 with a slew of updates, content and events throughout the year. I'm going to talk to you about the gameplay and the atmosphere, and we'll see if you're tempted to dive into the adventure, or to dive back in for those who got hooked when they were younger. The game has been around for 6 years now, and it has grown just as much as we have over the past few years. So, we're starting off strong with an update that introduces a whole new civilization, the Mayans. When you start the game, you choose your civilization. It's kind of the cradle of your empire. And visually, it changes quite a bit. Between the armor of Roman legionnaires and the drapes of Arabia, you'll have to choose your side and your style. Each civilization has its own gameplay bonuses, with a special ability and advantages that range from accelerated resource gathering, the marching speed of your troops, or the garrison capacity of your territories. With the Mayans arriving in January, get out the green feathers and the fabrics, because you're going to need it to dominate the battlefield. You get a boost on all types of damage, with improved archer defense and especially a 10% accelerated gold harvest. The gold that the Mayans called the divine excrement of their god. The sun is going to pile up at Bibi's place, I'm telling you. Not all civilizations are created equal, and since there are more than a dozen of them, we'll need to go through them. France, China, Japan, Korea, and all the others and their specialties to find the gameplay. Gameplay that suits you. The progression system is well balanced, offering options for both casual and hardcore players. By the way, since the progression trees of the civilizations are unique, you'll need to strategically decide which one suits you best after the early game so you don't end up stuck. Each civilization is led by commanders classified into different types that describe their specialty in combat or more generally on the vast game map. Multiplayer. And then these famous commanders are collected through a gacha system. You can pull commanders by collecting rewards from all over, but the game offers you plenty for the beginning of 2025, so don't miss this window of opportunity. And with everything you're going to get, you'll still need to make tactical choices for your evolution materials. You can't invest in all your units, and your points for sending them on collection or PvE combat missions are limited, so don't waste them. Combine the armed forces of cavalry, siege, and infantry to triumph and choose the right commanders in the update. Their league game. With the update, the return of the king at the beginning of January, it's King Arthur who is highlighted as the ultimate commander. He will charge into battle with your cavalry troops and his sword Excalibur. He's a king of legend, and in Rise of Kingdoms, you meet commanders. History lovers will recognize many names. It's that we encounter commanders from all eras and all countries who clash with their armies. If you love history, you're definitely going to come across plenty of names you already appreciate. For example, Grand Gu, you know him. This legendary infantry commander is known for his versatility and devastating skills in PvE and PvP. In Rise of Kingdoms, he is actually the founder of the Kingdom of Shu in the 2nd century in China. In the game, he shines with his AoE damage and his 3-second silence on enemies, putting everyone down. But since anything goes in historical mixes, you can have him synergize with other great names, like Alexander the Great or Leonidas. We're staying in Asia with other stylish and powerful commanders to kick things off, right? In Rise of Kingdoms, Yi Hongji and Genghis Khan, the conqueror after the grass that doesn't grow back. Yi Hongji, often shortened to YSG, is a war machine of ranged damage. He's a reliable and effective commander throughout all phases of the game because he synergizes extremely well with all the others. Heroes. His rain of arrows deals massive damage on open fields and in garrison defense. But it's really his synergy ability that makes him an excellent investment choice for your resources. And on the opposite side of this gameplay, we have Genghis Khan, who hammers a single target but lacks durability. For a quick and deadly strike, your cavalry leader will use Mongol supremacy as a throat-slitting blow to your enemy. Given his weak tanking abilities, however, he can pair very well with Saladin or Takeda Shingen. But if you're more of an adventurous type, you might even want to try out the brand new commanders from the Mayan civilization that no one has been able to fully test yet. Huachinil, Ajo, and Siakak are arriving in January with their orange drapery and green assets straight from Latin America. A little sunshine in the heart of winter. Huachinil Ajo is an excellent commander for resource gathering, providing significant bonuses to gathering speed. She is also capable of effectively defending a gathering spot, but we'll use her a bit less in the late game as she doesn't provide a boost for gold gathering. For the upgrade, choose talents focused on his strengths, including improving gathering speed and defense capacity while collecting, and otherwise to raid the entire map quickly. Send Huachinil Ajo with Constance, Sokka, or Joan of Arc, and you'll make your opponents rage. She is able to boost her damage. Her gathering with the Corn God Dance increases her troop capacity by 10% and even heals light injuries between each attack or defense. It's enough to hold your spot while you sleep. And believe me, in Rise of Kingdoms, that's pretty valuable. On his side, Siashkak, the Corn is particularly useful for early game players looking to lead rally attacks with archers. On the other hand, its effectiveness decreases in older kingdoms, where more powerful commanders are available. He's an easy commander to unlock with gold keys, and so you will be able to upgrade him more easily than other highly sought-after heroes. Siashkak's gameplay kit focuses on rallying cities or fortresses and offers quite decent survival abilities thanks to his healing and defensive buffs. So he can hold a position, but he doesn't deal much damage, and he has to deal with somewhat long cooldowns on his healing skills. But don't worry, you'll make up for it by increasing the damage and durability of the archers to boost the troops you assign to him. In older servers, his usefulness is quite limited if top-tier commanders are already available, but he really shines for new players with his skills that increase the attack, health and march speed of the archers, in addition to regeneration. 10% of troop health in real time with an additional 20% defense for your units. In all of this, Commander Maya, CHK, forms quite well solo for your first hours of gameplay, and in duo with YS and Hongji, whose damage will balance the game a bit. It's up to you to try to make the most of his skills for the start of your kingdom. And he's not the only one that's easy to unlock in January, because Lilith Gameplay is launching a login event until January 23 to let you collect all the commanders from the tavern. There's quite a strong French-speaking community in-game, so think about downloading Rise of Kingdoms with the link in the description and activating the code ROK2225YS. If you're ready to take on the challenge and share your best tactics, and if the gameplay builds and character choices seem too complex to you, you shouldn't worry too much. Thanks to the Return of the King update, you'll be able to test as much gameplay as you want with the level exchange of commanders. When commanders are sent out on the PvE field with your troops, they gain experience, which helps them level up and become more powerful, but you can also feed them resources to give them even more XP and unlock their most powerful skills. The problem is that it costs you quite a bit of time and some precious items that you couldn't recover before, but now you can exchange the level of one commander with another. If you've made a mistake in your experience investment, or if you want to try a different strategy, and speaking of troops, the Mayas offer spearmen and elite spearmen ready to take down enemy ranks without dropping their nice golden armor. Expand your many formations with the conversion of legendary gear to switch troops as quickly as commanders. For the month of January, versatility and gameplay changes are in the spotlight, so there's no time to get bored. We have too many strategies to test, but before you dive headfirst into global conquest, take a moment to look at the entire map and its regions. Rise of Kingdoms is primarily a MMORTS, and when we talk about a large-scale multiplayer strategy game, it definitely means we're going to be fighting with people from all over the world to get the best spots in the game. On a limited map, the beginning of the game will mainly be PvE. Send your troops out to farm resources, food, wood, stone, gold, and boosts to keep your economy and army going. Then PvP will become more and more prominent, and the battles will get closer together, with massive invasions from anti-player clans, aggressive teleportations, and strategic points to defend. In fact, get ready for massive confrontations pretty early in your game. You have to admit that you don't find the same resources everywhere. There are mountains and territories that vary from one area to another, but there are also regions that are completely locked at the beginning of the server, so the stakes of the game will change completely. Everything will change when the locks come off. The closer you get to the center of the map, the more intense the battles will be to access the loot. Like Rise of Kingdoms, you take command of your little kingdom and you have a wealth bubble that increasingly attracts envy. With the resources you gather in real time using your troops on the large game map, you build an increasingly advanced city. Don't hesitate to check out beginner's guides for the game to get the best possible start. It's really a race to grow quickly, and that will make you a conqueror or a besieged. Join a brand new server and hurry to secure control of key locations by supporting your own coalition of players. But you won't be alone in managing that. You will of course have your alliance with you and quite a bit of experience on the ground before you get to that point. Don't let yourself be caught off guard by the clock or by the rapid development of your enemies. Explore the map with your scouts, lift the fog of war, and unlock technologies as you go on your expeditions. Explore and exploit, that's the recipe for dominating the game. The exploration system encourages active immersion and rewards you with hidden resources, tribal villages, and caves containing treasures. And there are even daily minigames for those who want to snag every little reward. Bonus! The map also includes strategic points, such as passes, sanctuaries, and fortresses. These spots play a crucial role in alliances and large-scale battles. Let's say that real-time battles are one of the main attractions of Rise of Kingdoms. Unlike many strategy games where battles are completely automated, here you can actively control your troops on the battlefield. Be your own commander, feel free to move, change targets, or retreat if necessary. Well, after that, only cowards retreat, but hey, it's up to you. Early control isn't key. Engage with synergy. Avoid overthink, especially early game, but it will keep you busy for a bit while the troops are well synergized and the order to kill your enemies matters. Don't spend too long on solo battles trying to guess what you need to do to win. Go seek advice and try out new recommended tactics. You'll be able to do all of that pretty well, surrounded by your alliance as support. In fact, alliances play a central role in Rise of Kingdoms. Joining an alliance offers many benefits, including production bonuses, assistance to speed up constructions, and the opportunity to participate in alliance wars. Wars between alliances are epic, involving hundreds of players coordinating their attacks to capture territories or strategic objectives. If you're not used to MMORTS games, you might be surprised by the speed and intensity of negotiations within alliances, as well as between alliances. Non-aggression pacts, resource exchanges, temporary collaborations to take down other more dominant player clans. And well, that's the daily life in Rise of Kingdoms. Diplomacy is just as central to the gameplay as the commanders, the development of your city, and resource gathering. You'll need to put all your strategic skills to the test and climb the ranks of your alliance. If you really plan to seize power and all its responsibilities, effective resource management can make the difference between prosperity and stagnation, especially when it comes to competing with other players or alliances. Resources can be collected on the map, through game quests in the menus, or even earned instantly with boosts. And believe me, you're going to quickly spend all those bonuses on developing your city, which will consume everything. Because resources are essential for building structures, recruiting troops, and researching technologies. I think you could see it throughout this video. And we talked less about it to focus on the gameplay and the new features of 2025. But the visual style of Rise of Kingdoms has become more colorful. Clean and detailed, each civilization has its own styles. Whether it's in architecture or in terms of special units, the animations during battles and special events are well done, adding a cinematic touch to the game. You'll quickly find yourself captivated by the sound atmosphere of your units, the notifications coming from all directions and the sound of arrows whistling as you launch an attack on another player. But be careful, don't take on just anyone. There are some very high-level accounts that will have advanced faster than you, sometimes by farming with multiple accounts to boost their economy. By the way, if you want to spend a little in the game, the beginner's pack is often a good deal in mobile games. And Rise of Kingdoms is no exception to the rule. After that, you can buy resources, boosts, and special packs to speed up your progress. But for the tryharders, a smart strategy and good resource management will make you a strong enough account early in the game to enjoy the server. The game requires a lot of time to stay competitive, and even more so if you're playing free-to-play to avoid falling behind. So, watch out for your sleep hours. In the end, Rise of Kingdoms offers a mix of many things we enjoy on mobile. Well thought out portability, strategy, development even in idle mode, and real-time PvP at every hour of the day and night. The gameplay turns out to be very varied with expeditions and command gacha. But also, and above all, a lot of diplomacy and social interaction to survive in this brutal world. You need to skillfully choose the developments of your city through technology and construction without neglecting all the new regular content. The events and the new civilizations are what make it so exciting. Constantly renewing experiences that keep Rise of Kingdoms running smoothly for the past 6 years. And if you've never tried your luck, well, you could at least be tempted to reach 1 or 2 million power. To discover this title, which is among the biggest MMOs on MobiGG, but be careful not to become addicted. We know very well at Mobi.gg what it can be like to want to use all those boosts and not miss any alliance attacks in the middle of the night. I invite you to let us know what you thought from the video in the comments, and download Rise of Kingdoms using the link in the description to support us. Remember to activate the code ROCK212125 yesing.me to get bonus rewards. And if you don't know how to do it, check out our dedicated guide. Just a reminder, the game is free to play on Android and iOS. And a big thank you to everyone for watching the video this far. I'll see you very soon for the next recap.